So part of that long love affair with consciousness is that with being human, it's a love affair with. Then you realize that's a love affair with this world that I'm in, because I'm not in any other context than this one. You know, the fancy Buddhist name for that is dependent origination. You know, but it just means everything's connected to everything else, really, and so you can't say it's a thing separate from other things. And then there's a tremendous freedom. We realize that the problems. I think one of my definitions of a problem is that I'm working off an old map of the world, and I haven't looked at what's really happening, but I've noticed it's different from my map. And I prefer my map. And then I'm having a kind of, in a snit about that, and that's called suffering. Is my snit about the map not being, well, why isn't it? Look, it says here that, that obviously something else is happening. And so that's the kind of definition, I think, the Zen sense of what suffering is. And so then the sense of the love affair part of it is that we gradually become more interested in what is happening. So there's more of an exploratory consciousness rather than that consciousness of judging, assessing, refusing, trying to own, trying to manipulate life, people, and everything. And so a dog is a good metaphor in some ways for all this. I don't necessarily think there's a sensible reason why the guy said, does a dog have Buddha nature rather than a wombat? He didn't know about wombats, probably. But a dog doesn't really spend a lot of time thinking things should be different, It just, it just says, oh, kibble, my favorite, oh, you're home, you're my favorite now, and oh, sleeping, that's my favorite, actually. and in a way, the dog's just a Zen student, It's like, that's what a Zen student's like, we're free. And then over and over again, you'll notice that you come to some place where you noticed freedom, and then suddenly you don't feel free again. And I think one of the things, after a while, you've noticed freedom enough that when you don't feel free, it starts to seem like the anomaly rather than the freedom being the anomaly. And so then the fact that you feel like, oh, a dog doesn't have Buddha nature, especially this dog, John, it's just okay. It's part of, somehow it then becomes part of the terrain of the practice, the territory of the journey, rather than some thing telling you to like stop the journey. Okay, time to go home now. So, and then over and over again, you'll notice that the kind of mind that's not really helpful to you will be the one that's always assessing how you're doing, assessing how other people are doing. It's probably even worse because it's sort of further from home, in a way, And that then, if we're assessing how other people are doing, we're always really it's always in a way criticism about ourselves. Someone else isn't doing it right, or we're really talking about we're living in a world in which we're not doing it right when we're saying that. And so so one of the things I notice in the path is that disappears is, you know, holding resentment and things like that always seems painful, you know. There's nothing wrong with having something painful, but after a while it starts to seem very constricting, you know. So it really doesn't matter, it's gone. Whatever it was is gone, you know. And whoever was right, that's gone too, you know. And whoever was wrong, that's gone too. And woof, you know. The dog went off and took a nap, you know. So that's a very touching thing, and that relates to the kind of, to the loving quality that starts to come out as emptiness appears, you know. In emptiness being our loss of our assessments like that, you know.